So these words trauma-informed are spoken about quite largely in our line of
Indeed.
work.
Indeed.
I think with the populations that I work with, there's so much unknowing. And when we work, we can give our students a little bit of knowing.
Yeah, you hit right on the on the connection, the connection with cancer. Absolutely, the unknown.
The
It is
unknowing.
the unknown, right?
And with veterans, especially those who suffer with post-traumatic stress, many are kind of out of control. They don't know. They live in hypervigilance. They're always on guard, kind of not knowing what's going to come next.
Yeah.
And I think when they come to classes, that we can give them that place of safety, right? And a little predictability of kind of what we're going to do or what we're going to lay out for classes.
Right.
And give them the place of ease as we teach.
I think we can end right there. That says it all. That says it all in terms of a cancer survivor. I mean, it is a lifelong not knowing when the next trauma is going to happen. And the things that you mentioned to be trauma informed right there immediately, I mean, is creating safety. That's the number one way how to be trauma informed and how to teach a trauma informed practice is understanding your job as creating a safe space, creating a place where that unknown, you can have a separation from that. Well, I guess what I'm going to do is go back and define what trauma is. Which one I think we throw the word around a lot.
We do.
And trauma as a noun is defined as a disturbing event, which for someone who is veteran, the disturbing event being that war. Yes, there could be an occurrence of another war. For a cancer survivor, it is the event of being told you have cancer. That is the event. And there are many other disturbing events that happen after that. Your treatment didn't work, we have to do another one, or you have a recurrence. So it is ongoing fear of the recurrence of, maybe another war, or maybe just the hearkening back, the trigger points to
Right.
put you back into that place where you feel the unsafety. And that's what we do in a yoga class, is we create a space for them to feel safe, feel that calm, feel that ease. And in some, I mean, at least in my job as a yoga teacher to cancer patients and survivors is to give them tools that they can lock into very, very quickly. Maybe with my help and maybe not, because I'd like them to feel they can be their own agency beyond the yoga class to find that calmness and that safe space.
Exactly. We'd like to think that they can take these on. We do give them tools that are easy for them to use off the mat. And, I think part of it also is to allow them that mind-body connection that they don't always get otherwise. And
Well, the trauma has separated them.
Exactly.
And when it comes up again, those trigger points of when, the trauma, what triggers the trauma? And I think in many ways, some of the words that we use in yoga are unfortunately real triggers. I mean, we use warrior language in yoga a lot. And at least in the training of my teachers and yoga therapists, I say, reflect on all of those words that are war-related, take them out. We are not talking about winning a war against cancer. This is not our objective here. And I would think that would be a very common link
Yeah,
between.
absolutely. I think when you're talking about even cancer or eating disorders or even addiction and working with veterans or active duty servicemen or women, or even when you're working with incarceration, you really have to think about your languaging and trauma-informed classes. It's important the way in which you speak and what you're saying, because things you say can be triggering.
Right. I mean, just the terminology that take Shavasana, take your final resting place. Duh. I mean, how triggering is that to someone
can
who's
be.
dealing with cancer?
It can be. Yeah. This is true. This is true.
And there are other things that I think that being trauma informed as a yoga teacher are some of the things that we do. What might seem like just really innocuous, very safe things to do. For example, was a really common pranayama exercise of counting your breath. I mean, I did that in the very beginning when I was first teaching, and a large group of people. And I said, okay, we're going to do this very simple way to calm the breath and find ease and tranquility and, put you in a safe place. So just count your breath. Count, inhale, and then on the exhale, hold it and count to 7, 8, I forget what the number was, probably 8. And not realizing and not making the connection, because I was not trauma informed of what that very simple yoga practice could do of a simple breath retention. One of the students get up and she just slid down the wall in the back of the room and stayed there for the rest of the class. And I went to her and I said, are you okay? And she said, that triggered for me, put me right into the fact that I was post-traumatic stress traumatized when I was having my radiation treatments, because that's what they would tell me to do for minutes upon minutes till
Hold your
I was
breath.
painful, to hold my breath and count. And she said it just, triggered me right into that. So I think, so immediately I took out that particular,
We learn.
yes.
Yes, we learn. So, yeah, we learn. And the things we learn through our practices, through our experiences too. And I think it's important that we take these to heed. And we also know that some things work for some students
Sure.
and some things don't. So
Yeah.
there's not a one thing for all, or one shoe fits all.
Absolutely. And certainly I took that out of my practice, but I also, I'm aware now of those kinds of creating yet another disturbing event that someone could trigger into their post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yeah, we're working hard not to create triggers.
Safe place.
Safe
Create the
place.
safe place.
Yes.